I'm so happy to be back working with you today. Mrs. Siegel was telling me that you have been working on looking at the vowel patterns in words, kind of like what we did when we were working on looking at how to add endings to words, but you've been doing a little bit of practice with that, is that right? So I was talking with her about a writing that I'm doing. I'm writing a narrative. It's actually a fictional narrative, but it's based on a time in my life when I went to Florida. And I'm writing it, and as I was writing, I came to a word that I thought was tricky, that I thought with the practice that you've been doing, you might be able to help me with it. Okay, so can I share the story first?
Is that why you covered it up?
Yeah, I did, because I actually wrote it a couple of times under here, and I'm just leaving it blank right now so that we can figure it out. Okay, so this is my draft. It says, I could hear the waves and smell the salty sea air as soon as I hopped with both feet out of the car. The jewels on the tops of my sandals sparkled in the sun as I picked up my pace to catch up to my mom and my brother Jake, who were ahead of me. Hey, wait for me, I yelled to them. Jake swiftly turned to look at me. In his typical annoying ways, he let out an exaggerated laugh and pointed at me. Mila is an actual turtle, he teased. Ugh. I hated him when he acted like that. Come on, Mila, my mom said patiently. Then she scowled at Jake. How many times do I have to tell you to stop bothering your sister? Mom was excited to take us to Sharky's for, and the word I'm looking for is dinner. She'd been talking about it all week, and even though I had just had a snack, I was hungry again. I'm always hungry. Are you always hungry?
Yes.
Like I just had lunch, like I'm always a little extra hungry all the time. So I was trying to capture this, and when I came to the word dinner, let me tell you the problem that I ran into. I wasn't sure if it was spelled with one N or if it was spelled with two N's. And I know that one is dinner and one is diner. And I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, I think it's with two N's, but then I wasn't able to really explain why it was with two N's and not with one N. So this is the thing that I thought we could dig into. Today, what I want to teach you and remind you is that we can use what we know about syllables in words. Like when we're thinking about words that have more than one syllable in them, we can use what we know about syllables in words, and we can use what we know about their vowel patterns to help us when we're spelling longer words, and it can also help us when we're reading longer, tricky words too. So let me show you really quickly what I was thinking with this debacle that I got myself into when I was writing. And then I'm gonna give you a chance to help me with this and see if we can figure out a pattern that we might discover. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first thing I thought I was going to do is I thought, I'm gonna listen for the syllables in the word dinner. And so I'm just gonna say this really slowly, and I'm gonna clap them out. So I thought about it, and I was like, din-ner, din-ner. And as I was listening, I felt like I heard din-ner. Do you hear that too?
Yeah.
And as I looked a little bit closer, I thought, I bet when I look for the break in this syllable, right, where I kind of like make that pause, I bet it's right there. And I thought, now I can kind of look at this, and I've got like two words, not just one big word. It's almost like I have two smaller words. Din is kind of like the word win or grin or bin, and ner is kind of like I could think of like the word her. Yes. And so I thought about this, and I also kind of wanted to notice the vowel pattern. Let's take a look at that really quickly. I see vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. So I'm just going to kind of notice that, and I'm going to put it up here because I thought I could start sorting those, and maybe I can discover something about this. Well, the other word was diner, right? Diner. And so I'm going to clap that one too, and I'm going to listen for the syllables and really try to hear where that syllable break is. So diner, diner, diner. And I feel like I hear die, yes? And ner. So I think the syllable break in this one is going to take place right here. And when I think of die, I can think of like the word like hi, right? It looks like that word, yeah. And I'm also hearing. Do you hear the long I sound? Do you hear the I? So that makes sense that there's not a letter right after it, like in the word high. And then I have ner at the end, just like in her before. So I think this one is a vowel, consonant, vowel pattern. Yes? Okay. So what I want to discover with you today, and you're going to get a chance to do this and try this, is I want to discover, is there anything that we can come away with to know when we spell words with two consonants in the middle, or maybe when it's just one, and that's also going to help us think about where we break words when we're reading them too. So you're going to have a baggie of words that you're going to work with your partners to try this out. And what I'd like for you to do is in your notebooks, I'd like for you to set them up just like this. Don't do it yet. Put your headers up there, those two different vowel patterns, and then you're going to take all of your words out at once in a pile, and you're going to pull one word that you're going to look at. And you're going to think about this word, and you're going to think, is it a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel pattern? Or is it a vowel, consonant, vowel pattern? What about open? Where does it fit? Talk with your partner really quickly. Where do you think open fits?
I think it's a vowel. Because is a vowel, and then
Okay, word study experts. Let's go back in 3, 2, 1. So if I look at this, I see we start at the first vowel, right? So I see vowel, consonant, vowel. So I'm going to put it in this column, and I'm going to write it, open. And then I'm going to listen for this word. I'm going to say it slowly. I hear O, pen. O, pen. And I think the break is going to take place right here. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Let me try another one. What about this word? The word
Supper.
supper.
Same as dinner.
Okay, so as supper, if I think about the vowel pattern in this one, I see vowel.
Sup. And then you can do.
Wait, let's talk about the vowel pattern. I see vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. So it would fit over here. So I'm going to write it under here,
Then you can.
and then I'm going to listen, and I hear sup, per. Do you hear that too? So I'm going to mark my line right here. Now, as you're doing this investigative work with your partner, make sure that you don't take off without them. And if some of you might have a different idea of where that break is going to be for the syllable. So make sure that you talk it out, okay? All right, as I pass out the words, go ahead and get your notebook set up, and then I'll make sure that each partnership gets a baggie. Partner A, can you raise your hand for me? Or one of your partners, if you don't have a partner A and B. These ones are just Siegel and I made them. Yesterday or maybe it was Friday.
Wait. Is your session 1 and session 2?
open O is
For both.
Come around here. Can I switch your food?
Oh, you mean how do you find the break? I'm wondering, I think it's oh, I suppose all birds. All it's kind of like what open.
You just take turns picking them. All right, just pick one word at a time for both of you.
We see because it's right after C and I. So the break would be right at T. Yeah. Ours is all consonant consonant. So it would it would be vowel consonant consonant because you start here and then you just have it so it would be A so I E there's no other
So it'll probably be right in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What do you think Tiger is going to be?
Hold on 1 second, sweetheart.
I think it will be very
Low. What do you think? And also look, take a look up at the other ones that we did and see if you notice a pattern starting to come up.
You said we're only finding vowel, consonant, vowel, and vowel, consonant, vowel. This one is vowel, consonant.
And sometimes Y can be what?
Oh yeah, vowel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and what sound is Y making in this word? So it's making a vowel sound, isn't it? Yeah, so I think you can count it as a vowel. That's a good question.
Okay. No, I did that. I thought this said tiny. Tiny.
Yeah, so if you look at something,
Vowel,
what do you notice?
consonant, wouldn't that be B, C, so?
Otherwise, this would be K.
That's what I said, Gavin. Tiny.
Right?
Less. So.
So you think of like the word like strap?
I think we would split it up under as middle. Alright. Vowel, consonant.
Okay,
So you want to make sure that
that'll be vowel. No, yeah, vowel, consonant.
right down there. And you know why? Because when you think about them as two separate words, you're going to want to think about when that vowel sits there all by itself, then it says it's a long sound. So kind of like an O. Do you hear the O? When in tiger, right now how it is, we see the word, what word would this be?
Tig.
Tig. Yeah, does that make sense? And then when you see this one, you have Sue, and then you have her. Yeah. So where you break it, if you look at those words as if they're all on their own before the break, that will help you kind of think about how they're read.
You don't need to write the pattern. What do you want to know? If you want to.
Okay. Now we'll do yours. What is yours?
How do you break it? So this one is a vowel consonant.
Vowel. Where do you think it
I think half like for hop, and then
What do you think, Mark? Like half like hop?
supper. I think it's
It's a vowel consonant.
vowel, consonant.
Yeah, because the O is a vowel.
Ready?
Oh, right. Take
R and the U, because if you like do it so
Does that make sense? You're right here. And then
It's where the rule is. So R-U-L, you split it, and then E-R.
I think it should be.
Yeah,
If you say it,
you say it sounds like R-U-L. R-U-L. And then you split it.
so do you think?
Because after the E-R, you can't really hear the L. You can really hear the L after the R-U.
that? Yeah, I think it sounds like a vowel, right? It's not saying you.
Wait, it would be like this, right?
Let me see what you have going on here.
Vowel consonant.
That makes sense to me. Are you two talking about this side? This column's a little bit trickier, right? Like we have open. So let me ask you something. If I were to cover this up, this part, what word is that? T-I-N. What is it? It's 10. 10. How are you going to make it say 10? Break it right there.
Do it in the middle.
High, like the word high. Does that make sense? So if you put your syllables right there, then you have tie, knee. Think about that. Check yourself on those. Kind of like break it, and then see what would that word be before your break. Does it sound the same?
Kit.
Yeah. What are you going to do to make it say pay?
Crazy day from
Okay, I'd like you to find a place that you can stop with your partners. Maybe finish up the last word that you're working on. Just finish up the last one that you're on. Even if you only have like 2 left, just finish up the last one.
I did happy.
Okay, let's come back together. You can go ahead and just leave your words there for right now because we'll have a chance to clean them up. I was going around and talking, I think I had a chance to talk just about every partnership. And you were doing some really tough thinking. Thinking about not just the vowel patterns that you're noticing in the words, but also thinking about where is that syllable going to break? Because depending on where that syllable breaks, it's going to change the way that we read that word. And it's also going to help us think about how we can write that word too. So let's try a couple together. Check yourself really quickly, see if you're focused. Let's try a couple together. I'm going to pick the word happy. And I'm going to think about the vowel pattern. You can help me out here. What vowel pattern do we see in happy?
Vowel consonant.
Yep, it goes over here. Happy. And I can hear hap, like kind of like in the word cap, right? Or in sap. So I hear happy, and I'm going to break it right between those 2 letters. Did anybody notice that in the words with the vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel pattern, that they have the 2 consonants in the middle, and that we break it right in the middle of those 2 consonants? How many of you noticed that? I saw a lot of you noticing that when I was going around, right? We see those 2 consonants in the middle, we're gonna break right in between them, and it makes sense, because then, where syllables break, we can read each side of that syllable break like it's its own word, and that's a great way to check it. So like if I were to cover this up, what word do we have? Hap. Right? That makes sense, and it's like other words that we know. All right, so let's try another one. What about the word crazy? Crazy. What? Vowel, I see vowel, consonant, vowel. So I'm going to put it over here. Crazy. So this one's a little bit trickier because depending on where I put that break, this word would be read differently. So let's just say I put the break right here and I put it after the Z. What word would I have here? I'd have craz. Craz, right? Can't even really think of another word that's like craz. If I move my break over here, I'm going to have pray, right? Because that A is sitting off on its own, yes? And we're like, pray, yeah, pray. So I'm going to break it right there. Let's try another one like this one.
Do we have to put the vowel like the?
What about this one?
Paper.
Paper. What vowel pattern do we have in paper?
Vowel, consonant, vowel.
Okay, vowel, consonant, vowel. So I'm going to put it right here. Really quickly, talk with your partner. Where are we going to put the break in paper and why? Talk with your partner about it. Where are we going to put it and why?
between the I think it's between the because if you know because pay and Ray because then you at least
Okay,
have
let's
some
come
words
back
to
in
pay.
3, 2, 1, and 0. We're gonna put our break right here, right? So when I see vowel, consonant, vowel, I'm noticing that that break comes right after that first vowel, so that it's saying its name, like pay, right? Pay. It's kind of like smaller words we know, like hi, go, no, right? Like words like that that end in a vowel and we hear their long vowel sound, right? Okay, so really quickly, wrap up. Let's add a couple of things to, we're gonna make a brand new chart about reading and writing longer words. Let's think really quickly. What did we learn about where we make some syllable breaks in words that have the vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel pattern, and in words that have the vowel, consonant, vowel pattern? Talk with your partner really quickly as I get the chart or the post-its ready. What can we say on these? Okay, let's start with vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. When we see a word that has it's 2 syllables and it has 2 consonants right in the middle, where are we going to break it?
Middle.
You're gonna break it
In between the 2 consonants.
Oh, that's okay. Yep. What were you going to say, honey?
right before the long vowel.
And in vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, you're right. You do break it right after the long vowel on the other one. But when we see 2 consonants right in the middle, what do we do? Right in the middle, right? Split it right in the middle. And so, what are some words that we could put on here to help us remember that? Kitten.
Lesson.
So we could put kitten on here.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel
Summer.
we should put don't be scared to split in the middle. Do happy.
Don't be scared to split in the middle.
Summer.
Maybe.
I can add that at the bottom.
Rabbit.
Little. Maybe. Sorry, we have to separate you two.
Don't be scared to split in the middle. When you see, remember you've got to see those 2 consonants.
Summer.
Middle.
How about happy?
Middle. Do middle. Summer. Would middle work? Yeah.
Mid. Dull.
Summer.
Middle.
Hello or happy. Oh yeah, happy.
Good.
We do summer.
I think we have summer. I think we have a lot of good examples for this one.
some that we didn't have in here?
Okay, let's try. Well, maybe you can work with Mrs. Siegel and you could add even more later. So let's look at this one. When we see vowel, consonant, vowel pattern, those were those ones that we were just looking at. They're a little bit trickier. Where do we divide this one? Vowel, consonant, vowel pattern. Where did we figure out, where did we divide it?
B, C.
Yeah, we divide it right in between. And that's going to make that vowel right here make its long sound, right? It's going to make a long sound. So if we could think of some words like, remember we said pay, park,
Open.
O, pen.
Over.
We have
Diner.
Over.
diner,
Over.
later, over,
Crazy.
crazy,
Later.
Tiny.
later,
Tiny.
and tiny. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there.
I have
I think
one
we have a
more.
lot of good examples on there. I'm gonna add these to our chart, and then if you wanna keep thinking about those, what I would love that you would do actually, keep thinking about these words, and also as you're doing your reading, notice, like start to notice your words that have more than 1 syllable, and notice how they are spelled. Are you seeing them where they have 2 consonants in the middle, and are you hearing that short vowel sound like in kitten and happy? And if you're seeing some that only have 1 consonant in the middle, are you noticing that you hear that long sound in the beginning, like in paper and in diner? Awesome job today. You can go ahead and put your words back in your baggies, and then if partner B can